the entire world because of their natural resources and the capital they have got. Now it is totally changing. It is now intellectual capital. It is a knowledge capital that is ruling the entire world now. Now look at the information technology. Now the students who have come out of the college for the past 10, 15 years, maybe from very poor family. How are they now? Because of the intellectual capital. They are all in foreign countries, maybe USA, maybe UK, maybe Australia, maybe Malaysia. They are all there extremely doing well only because of the intellectual capital. Therefore, wealth is possible only if you have the knowledge. Knowledge is the power. Today, knowledge is the power. And at micro level, so far you are concerned, students are concerned, intellectual capital means sound technical skills, thinking and problem solving skills with good attitude to work in teams and ability to communicate. So therefore, the future world is going to be dominated only by the knowledge, and therefore please understand that the big shift in the total asset management of the entire world. Distinction between human capital and intellectual capital is there. Even if there is some material, it is worth useful. But human beings without intellect is nothing. It is going to be a liability for the entire nation, liability for the society, liability for family. Therefore, it is very important that we are able to improve our intrinsic value, human value, try to improve our skills, and try to work, harmonize, and make our lives more meaningful, not only for us and also for the family. Therefore, it is necessary. We always talk about human value, human value. What is human value? We will have to take care of the surroundings. So far is the water. What is human value? Using the water to the optimal level, it is also human value. Water is not available. You are aware now in the whole world, there were people utilizing for the industry, for the drinking, for agriculture, everything, only 25% of the available water in 1970. In 1980, it is increased to 45%. In 1990, it has increased to 65%. Now it is about 80% of the available water in the world is being utilized by us for various purposes. Unless we are careful, unless we utilize the water to the optimum level, leaving the water to rest of the people to enjoy, there is going to be a big misunderstanding. There is going to be a big war for the water alone that is going to happen. Therefore, we have to be very careful in using the water. Number two, environment is very important. Polluting the environment is only causing lot of health hassles. Even the water also, what we do when we are polluting the water, to that extent availability of water is not available. This polluted water makes many people problems. So far as the health is concerned, there only they'll have to spend a lot of money, that creating problem for them also. So that way, human values means we try to adjust and avail the facilities to the extent available and make is available for them also. That is what the human value is concerned, and every one of you, even your employer, your family, everybody will expect you to see that you utilize these natural resources for very much for necessities only. And with this, I am sure that students who are leaving this college, we heard from the students how they enjoyed. Maybe one way we are happy that to congratulate the achievers. On the other side, partly I feel sad that some of you will be leaving the Port Elizabeth College. My request to you is, even if you leave the college, kindly be in contact with your faculty, with the principal, and with me too also. You have my email address, svb@bernardi.com is very small address, therefore every one of you can remember. Kindly be in contact with us. If can I of any help to you, I will do it. Otherwise, I will have the pleasure of receiving the communication from you, knowing that you are doing well, and that is the one pleasure. Or கைமாறுன்னு சொல்லுவேன், ஒன்னே ஒன்று பண்ணுறது எனக்கு ஒன்னே ஒன்று தான். நீங்கள் please be in touch with me. What you are doing and other things, I am very happy. And after that, you becomes the alumni. As an alumni, we can do a lot of things. Today we got about 16 members of the alumni today had discussion with me, and they also said they are going to talk to you about the future program as of the alumni. I request you please in touch with your alumni chapter. Try to be always, be of help to your successors, your successive students. Thereby, they are able to also come up in the life as you are been able to do it. With this, I wish to again thank every one of you. I'll be failing in duty if I do not congratulate, thank the faculty, wonderful faculty we are having. I wish to thank every one of them. We got the good chief executive principal to guide for all of us. We have Mr. Vijay Kumar and all of you are there. And I wish to thank all of them again, and more particularly the Futura committee headed by the student coordinators and faculty coordinates. You have done a wonderful job. I wish to again congratulate for that also. With this, I wish our students who are parting as this year, wish them all the best in their life and do all the good for your brethren. Thank you.
Request our Honorary Advisor, Dr. M.P. Vijay Kumar, retired IAS officer, to deliver the special address.
Respected Chief Guest, beloved Chairman, dear Managing Director of Banari Amman Sugars, Chief Executive, Principal, HOD of Computer Science Engineering Department, other HODs, professors, student friends, and distinguished guests. I will just take 2 minutes because today morning we heard our chief guest speech. It was scintillating, it was captivating, wonderful. It is such a motivating and inspiring speech that it was like a magic for us, as he had a magic wand in his hand. So all of us were completely engrossed in his speech. So let me not stand. Of course, I have a lot of ideas to share. I can keep on talking for half an hour, even 1 hour. But then today, I feel it is most appropriate time to say anything in front of Dr. Pillai. But one thing I can tell you, Dr. Pillai, being an engineer, there are 2 things we should learn from him. Now, he had sound technical knowledge with application skills, which he used effectively and rose from a small, humble beginning to the highest position in his cadre. He is heading an organization called BrahMos. The contribution of BrahMos, which he explained in the morning, it is again mind-boggling. When we are lagging behind for 30, 40 years, in just 20 years, we leapfrogged and stand first in the world. Especially in BrahMos, we are first in the world, even though in our space technology, in Agni and nuclear technology, we are somewhere 5, 6. But in BrahMos, the organization which he is heading, we are first in the country. His technical knowledge, his application skills. Secondly, his managerial skills. So heading an organization as chief executive, as sensitive as BrahMos, is not an easy job. He has to liaise with universities, professors, industry, which he has been successfully accomplishing. And no doubt, he is a role model. He is the most appropriate chief guest for this present function. So I am equally anxious, like you, to hear to him. Now let us hear him. And before I conclude, let me wish all of you a glorious and illustrious future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Born on 15 July 1947 in Nagarkoil, Dr. Pillai graduated in electrical engineering from Madras University in 1969, management development from Harvard Business School, USA, and PhD from Pune University. Having begun his career with Space Science and Technology Center, Thiruvananthapuram in 1969, he assisted Dr. Vikram Sarabhai in the evolution of 10-year space profile for India. He was a core team member of SLV-3 under the leadership of His Excellency, the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. During his tenure, Dr. Pillai conceived and provided outstanding leadership for the design, development, production and manufacturing of most advanced BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, which made India a proud nation as world leader in the cruise missile technology, which earned him the title the father of BrahMos. This visionary scientist is a proud recipient of various key awards, which include DRDO Scientist of the Year in 1988, Vikram Sarabhai Research Award in 1991, Padma Shri from Government of India in 2002, Performance Excellence Award of DRDO from BrahMos in 2005, Raja Ram Mohan Puraskar in 2006, Lokmanya Tilak Award in 2007, Dr. Y. Naidamma Memorial Award in 2008, Padma Bhushan from Government of India 2013, etc. In recognition to his contributions to aerospace and missile technologies, Dr. Pillai was honored with the Order of the Peter the Great and the Academician of University by the Moscow University of Security, Defense and Law Enforcement. May we now request our Honorable Chief Guest Dr. A. Sivadanu Pillai, Distinguished Scientist and Chief Controller, Research and Development, DRDO, Ministry of Defense, New Delhi, and Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, BrahMos Aerospace, New Delhi, to deliver the Chief Guest Address.
எல்லோருக்கும் என் அன்பார்ந்த வணக்கம். இங்கு பேசிய மாணவர்கள் சொன்னதிலிருந்து இது எப்படிப்பட்ட இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் என்பதை நாம் எல்லோரும் உணர்ந்தோம். நானும் இங்குள்ள எல்லா வசதிகளையும் சென்று பார்த்திருக்கிறேன். 2001 இங்கு வந்தேன். இப்பொழுதுதான் 2வது தடவையாக வருகிறேன். அப்போதே இது முதல் தரமான இன்ஸ்டிடியூட்டாக இருந்தது. இப்போது அது ரொம்ப பெரிய அளவில் இருப்பது கண்டு ரொம்ப மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி. குறிப்பாக ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுடைய ஃபீலிங்ஸ் அவங்க சொல்கிறது இது ரொம்ப மனதுக்கு ரொம்ப இதாக இருக்குது. இன்று காலையில் நாங்கள் எப்படி இந்த பிஐடியை ஒரு பெரிய இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷனாக நம்பர் 1 இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் ஆக்குவது என்ற சேர்மனுடைய விஷனை பற்றி பேசி கொண்டிருக்கும்போது பல எண்ணங்கள் உயிர்த்தன. எப்படி நம்ம ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி இருக்கணும், என்ன நம்ம புதுமையான ரிசர்ச் நம்ம பண்ணணும், ரிசர்ச் ட்ரைனிங் டு த ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி, டீச்சிங் அண்ட் ட்ரைனிங் அண்ட் ரிசர்ச், ஹவு வி கேன் கப்புள் இட் எல்லாம் நாங்கள் பேசினோம். ஆனால் ஒன்று நாங்கள் விட்டுட்டோம், எப்படிப்பட்ட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு. இப்படிப்பட்ட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் தான் இருக்கணும். அப்போ தான் அந்த இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் ரொம்ப முன்னுக்கு வரும். நீங்கள் உங்களுடைய இது ரியாக்ஷனில் இருந்து the institution is a great institution. So I am very happy to stand before you to address to the achievers, BIT achievers, and also to the students who are completing this year their BE degree. So respected Chairman Sir, Dr. Balasubramaniam is an entrepreneur, industrialist. He has concern for society, he is educationist, he is everything. So such a wonderful chairman you have. Then Dr. Saravanan, the managing director, Dr. Natarajan, the chief executive, Dr. Vijay Kumar, honorary advisor, Dr. Shanmugam, principal, distinguished professors and faculty members, ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, my dear students, achievers, let me greet all of you on this occasion. If you see India today, India has got 1.23 billion people. But one interesting thing you will see, though we are second largest in the world in population, we are first in having more than 60% of our people below 35 years. China has got older people more. India has got younger people more. What does it mean? It means that we have got a great future. Obvious. When the average age is less for the country, future is good. So you have got a great future. But we have to turn this population, youth population, with skill so that it is possible for us to turn the country. Today, country needs you very much. After degree, so you said, my college life is beautiful, everything is nice. But when you enter into the arena of your career, it is not going to be beautiful. It's going to be very tough. Life is going to be very tough. I will give you some examples to you. My own life, like you, I studied and then went immediately joined the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Fortunately, I got a boss, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. So in the early stage itself, he told me, you guys plan for next 10 years, what India has to do in space. Let us evolve your profile. He gave a task like that. I have not understood anything. But before that task is very challenging. He believed young people who can visualize. So I worked with him. With 1 year, we made a wonderful space profile for our country. Many other people helped. But I tell you, the first experience itself is a wonderful experience. Then I joined the SLV-3, Satellite Launch Vehicle Program, and with Dr. Abdul Kalam as the project manager. At that time, he was called project manager. So I was one of the project engineers in the core team. They formed a core team. I was made as a core team member. My job given was we must develop 4 stage rockets. 4 different rockets we have to develop, in that we have to work. So it's a big challenge. Why I am telling this is, if you face real challenge in your life, which can give you lot technological prowess, then your life will get good shape. It is not like writing a program. Many of you are going to join, I know, the IT companies. That's different life. They are not contributing for the national program. They are contributing for somebody who is in the other countries without knowing finally whom that output is going. But here it is not like that. Here we are talking about a project which is going to make our country great. So that opportunity, it was good. From Sarabhai, I learned how to think big. From Abdul Kalam, what I learned is hard work, honesty, simplicity, and you should be always upright. That's what I learned from him. So this type of training which came to me is standing now. Standing for years it is standing. Whether you build yourself over that. This you should also get such opportunity in your life. Then your life will be, flourish. Now India, is a great nation. It is a knowledge hub. The chairman was telling knowledge power, he said. So knowledge power is India. Again, we are becoming a knowledge power. I am seeing that the trend of our youngsters and good institutions definitely will make India a knowledge power. Our spiritual wisdom, culture, these are our strength. I will read something from what I have written. We survived as a nation the onslaughts of the invaders for more than 1,000 years and the numbing effects of the colonization. We also learned to adjust to rifts and divisions in our own society. But in the process of adjustments, we also lowered our aims and expectations and settled down to a lower mindset. I think you follow. That is, today, if you ask some youngsters who spoke well here, but when they go out, they are going to work in an organization which is going to bring them down in their thinking. Because the mindset today is not good. Mindset is low, be low. So from the great knowledge givers to the world and prosperity, we came down to the lowest strata of living at the time when we won our freedom. When we got our freedom, we are at the lowest possible strata in the prosperity with high population, and we were not knowing what to do. That was the situation. Eminent leaders emerged during the freedom movement who tried to boost the spirits and minds of the people to recapture the greatness of Indians. It is time now, because of our good population of youngsters, we can regain our heritage and wisdom to enrich our lives in the coming years. How we can do that? Let me tell some examples to you. You know, you might have heard about Agni project you might have heard. Agni is a surface-to-surface missile. Somebody questions why we should have such Agni project, type of project. You see, 1,000 years, I just now said, 1,000 years, starting from Alexander the Great came, we were having continuously invaders. Why did they come? A rich country, rich people, rich knowledge people. So they wanted to take everything from you. Good people, good knowledge, good, what we had as the richness. Now finally what you have found out, that we have become empty. They have also gone. Now the people who have come, have they lost their civilization? No. We are still having civilization. So that is why, with that type of thing which we have got as a background, what is needed is, you have to create an environment which does not allow others to come and occupy. That means you have to show your strength. How do you show strength? Strength can be shown only by the power. Today the power means defense. If you are having a good defense capability, then other man will hesitate. Strength respects strength. If you are strong, other man feels, oh, he is strong, we cannot go and wag his tail. Like that you will think. So, the main important thing is we have to be very strong. Not only we have to be strong, we have to tell others we are strong. So that is why this type of projects have been initiated by Dr. Abdul Kalam. He started this in 1983. That is called Integrated Guided Missile Program. Agni is one of the projects. Now, this Agni is 5,000 kilometers. When you say 5,000 kilometers, it has to go to space and come. It cannot fly low. It has to come. It's a ballistic missile. That means it has to re-enter. It goes to 700 kilometers height, comes back. When it comes back, it has to re-enter. You know about Kalpana Chawla. What happened to Kalpana Chawla? She went happily to do experiment in space shuttle. They did all the experiments in 300 kilometers and she was coming back with smile. Just till the accident, we have seen the pictures, how happy she was. Coming back at the 85 kilometers, when the re-entry takes place, re-entry means the spacecraft, the space shuttle is coming back to the earth. At the re-entry point, it is going through the thick atmosphere. When it crosses the atmosphere, due to the heating, the friction, the heat generated is very high. And due to this heating, the whole module which is coming is experiencing 3000 degrees centigrade. When at that time, the thermal protection system should protect her. But one small tile was not there. The protection is in the form of ceramic tiles. Number of tiles were there. One tile, while taking off, it had gone. They thought it is not going to be serious. But when it came back, the heat through that tileless portion entered and the whole thing got into flame in a nanosecond. Quick, that's all. Finished, everything finished. So the re-entry is a very, very important technology. Nobody will tell you how the technology is to be developed. For this, we thought that a young group should do it from who have just completed the college. We put a leader. Her name is Rohini Devi. The name is Rohini Devi. A leader is a lady scientist, a chemical engineer, she took up the challenge that I will develop re-entry technology. So she, along with her friends, started working on that. Today we have got the Agni project. Agni is also re-entry. If you send a man to the moon, we have to bring him back. Suppose Indians are going after 10 years, you will see Indians settling down in the moon in their factory, and they have to come back to earth. When they come back, they have to be safe. Today we have the technology through the Agni program. Why I am saying this is, you see, this is a denied technology. Nobody is going to give you the technology. Indians, no, we will not give you any technology. This is a missile technology control regime which prohibits all technologies to our country. Nobody will give you. You have to develop yourself. Where will you go to develop? We have to go to institutions like BIT. We have to go to industries. So we have to bring the people together and develop. So what we have done is we have put IIT Madras, we have put VSSC, like that number of institutions, Graphite India, Alappa College of textiles, because we need textile engineering in the re-entry module construction. So many things we did. So the whole thing, leadership came from the Rohini Devi. So that's how we developed. So the even difficult things we can do in our country if we have to have will to do it. So you must have in your mind, I said mindset, you have to break that mindset and to have the will with you, then you will achieve.